it's Pastor Rachel.
Pastor Alex.
And we are back in the sanctuary. And we are delighted to have the opportunity to welcome some of you back in this sanctuary starting this Sunday, September 13th.
A lot of people have been working hard so that two things happen when you come into the sanctuary. One, that you feel welcome, and two, that you feel safe. So today, Rachel and I are going to walk through some of what it will look like when you come into the sanctuary if you want to do so.
I'm excited, Alex.
I am too.
Let's go.
All right.
Hey there, everybody. I didn't see you there. We have now made it into the communication center of the building. I just came up through the only way that you can enter into the building when we come to worship. Normally you could come from other entrances, but to make sure that everybody's safe, we're only going to enter through the main entrance with the elevator. So you can come up the stairs or use the elevator one family at a time. You'll notice in our building we have some changes. You'll see here we have some fancy new signs. And the sign here says that masks must be worn at all times. And if I was here on a Sunday, you would tell me that my mask should be worn. But right now, I'm only not wearing my mask so I can communicate clearly what we have going on. As I move through the communication center, you will see with me that we have another addition too. On the floor are green lines that help us be socially distant. They're spaced out 6 feet apart. So that way, as we move through the communication center, you can stop if somebody's in front of you. Also, you'll see here that we don't have any coat racks. The coat racks have been taken away because we want to make sure that you keep all the things with you as you enter into the sanctuary. As we continue through the communication center, you will not be alone. Over here, there will be an ushering table where an usher will be seated, ushering you along through the communication center. We'll have masks readily available, also hand sanitizer, and an offering plate if you would like to give your offering, because we won't be having the offering time during worship services. We're getting closer and closer to enter into the sanctuary, and as we enter into the narthex, another usher will be here to guide you. And that is where Rachel will help us and guide us in what we do next as we enter into the sanctuary.
Hey friends, welcome to the sanctuary. As Alex mentioned, I'm going to show you a little bit about what you can expect here. There is an usher, as Alex mentioned, who will greet you at the door to the sanctuary. And that person might ask you to pause and wait as someone else is being seated. They might also direct you to this green tape on the floor. You'll recognize it. It's very similar to what we have in the communication center. We might ask you to pause here because you are actually going to be seated by an usher. Unlike other Sundays when we have the liberty of being able to sit wherever we want, in order to keep folks safe and to fill in an appropriate manner, the usher is actually going to show you to your seat. So if you pause here, you'll wait for the usher to direct you down the aisle. Come on down. You'll notice some of the pews have ropes on them that we are not using in order to maintain distance, and some of the pews are readily available and waiting for you. You're going to be asked to sit on one of the two ends of the pew. It may be this end all the way down here. It may be closest to the aisle, but no one's going to be seated in the center of pews, again, to maintain the distance that we're looking for. As you come a little bit further down with me, I'm also going to remind you that on the end of each of these pews, where folks will be seated, there will be at least 2 copies of our bulletin available for you so you can follow along with worship and participate. The bulletin will be the same for folks at home as it is for those in the sanctuary. So there won't be any difference between the order of worship and what you can expect throughout worship. It'll be provided for you in the bulletin. At the end of the service, you are going to be directed to exit by an usher. So when an usher comes, they are going to direct you to one of the south entrances. This is to maintain some one-way traffic through our building. Of course, if you need the elevator to assist you in getting to the parking lot, that will be made available to you and an usher will direct you. We ask that everyone remain seated at the end until you're directed by an usher to depart. Friends, worship is inevitably going to look a little bit different. It already does. You'll notice I don't have my mask on right now, but on Sunday morning, everyone needs to have their mask on at all times, especially in our sanctuary and in our building. We're going to ask that you cover your mouth and your nose at all times. The only times you will see someone remove a mask is when they are leading a portion of worship. So I might do that, Alex might do that, but we will immediately put it back on, our mask, when we are done with our portion of worship. We're not going to be singing, but we will have the joy of the organ and the piano. And friends, I am so excited. It has been too long since we have been here together. We are excited to welcome you back, and we hope that you will join us in worship if you feel safe and comfortable and able to do so. We want you to take care of yourself. Please be attentive to CDC guidelines and all of the things that we're seeking to help keep our community safe. If you've been traveling, please stay home. If you feel sick at all, please stay home. But if you are well and delighted to come, we welcome you. And we are so excited to see you starting Sunday, September 13th. Remember, you need to sign up in advance on our website at www.mpcusa.org. This is so we can keep track of those who are here, and also so we can maintain the capacity and the regulations that we are looking to adhere to. We're so excited to see you. Can't wait to welcome you back here.